fine day, out in the middle of a field, there was a boy named Johnny. Johnny was a rather pranky boy. He liked to prank. Johnny was a very trickster-esque boy who liked to pull pranks around the town. So what he would do every now and then is he would go up to the local baker and then fill the bread with bees. How he did that, I don't know. I don't even know where he got the bees from. Johnny was also a beekeeper. But that's nor here or there. One day, Johnny was strolling through town and he saw a girl, the girl of his dreams. And he was like, oh man, how do I get her to notice me? So Johnny decided that he was going to prank this girl and use that as kind of like an icebreaker to be like, so, how are you? So then Johnny went on to bring this girl a cake, but the cake had bees in it. And when she cut into the cake, bees poured out and stung her, but she was allergic to bees, and Johnny realized that it was wrong to prank everybody. So he rushed her over to the hospital. Meanwhile, everyone thought that was a prank. So Johnny brought her to the only person who actually trusted Johnny, who was also happened to be a doctor. So the girl was cured by Johnny's doctor friend, who was very happy to help. Johnny stayed by the girl's bed all day and night, hoping that she would desperately hoping that she would open her eyes so he could apologize. She opened her eyes and he apologized. And then there was happiness and joviality to be had by all. So then when the girl woke up, he apologized, but then the girl had no memory. So she didn't even know her own name. They didn't even know the name to begin with. I didn't even mention her name. And it was really bad for all. So Johnny spent as much time with her as possible, not doing any pranks and becoming an upstanding citizen. So that way he could, A, win the key to this girl's heart. So then days went by and he was hoping to win her heart and hopefully get her memories back, because he felt guilty and didn't prank anybody else, unless it was to be learned by all. But then, suddenly, the giant Potato King came to invade town, looking for his daughter. His daughter being the woman who had lost her memory. Nobody knew of this. Johnny was the best at his job of keeping this girl safe, but the Potato King was still desperately looking for his daughter. He terrorized the town in hopes of looking for her. And Johnny was not going to have that, becoming an upstanding, non-pranking citizen. So Johnny showed the bees to her, and memories of bees caused her to go into a panic. Suppressed memories of her being stung by bees. And then, when we end up, she gets into a panic, the Potato King hears her cries and recognizes her cries of, oh no, she is in bees trouble. So the Potato King destroys the town and runs off in the direction of, ran to her as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Johnny was trying to calm down the girl and saw doom looming over the horizon. He picked up the girl and carried her off from her father, the Potato King, whom nobody knows is the Potato King. Then they ran off into the woods together, where they could be alone and away from bees. The Potato King had destroyed everything that Johnny ever held dear. He realized that maybe the best way to get back, so then they ran off into the woods, hopefully to get away from there. The girl calmed down and Johnny explained what was going on. He decided to be truthful in the matter, in the fact that he was the reason she had no memory. She got mad and ran off in a huff. She also still has no name because I haven't given her a name yet. So then Johnny chased after her, incredibly guilty of the fact that there was incredibly guilty of the fact that he was the cause of her amnesia and whatnot, and guilty for the fact that he tried to win her heart without telling her the truth. So then he chased after her, but only found trouble when a rogue elf jumped down from the trees and was like, I saw what you did to her. You are a no good man. And Johnny goes, but I can change. And then they started to fight. And the dog was, the elf had a dog that fought fiercely. But then when Johnny saw the dog, he remembered his own dog and was like, no, I cannot harm other dog. I cannot harm other dog. Then elf said, then you will perish, and dog bit Johnny on leg. And Johnny passed out. Then Amnesia Girl came back and was all, hey. All right, so then she came over to him, to the elf, and was like, no, he may have lied to me, but he was best thing that happened in life. And then the elf was all like, but he hurt you. I saw the whole thing. And she was like, wow, you're a creepy stalker, man. But as an elf, I am immediately attracted to you. You being the elf. I am immediately attracted. So while Johnny was unconscious, Elf Boy and Amnesia Girl immediately bone. Johnny wakes up and sees that they are post-coitus. And is like, what? No! And Amnesia Girl's like, I like you like a brother. And Johnny's like, no! And then, so Johnny ran away, saddened by all of this. He found, wandering through the forest, he found the Potato King, who was destroying everything. So then, he found the Potato King, and the Potato King is like, you! I know you! Grabs him by the throat and says, where is my daughter? And because of anger, rage, and jealousy, Johnny told him about Elfman and made up story about how Elfman gave daughter amnesia. So then Potato King went off after them, but a tinge, there was a twinging in Johnny's heart. Poor Johnny. He could not go on himself knowing that he had lied about the love of his life to the evil Potato King, and the elf did not deserve that. He was only trying to help, even though he was a stalkery stalker. So Johnny rushed back to the aid of Elf and Girl, only to find that Elf was unconscious and Girl was held captive by Potato King. So then Potato King. So fierce battle began between Johnny and Potato King. Potato King used his potato powers to make the potato masher mallet, which knocked Johnny into oblivion, therefore taking daughter away. When came to, Girl was gone and Elf woke him up. When Elf woke him up, Elf was all sad that Girl was gone, but Elf saw potential in Johnny for being able to beat him. Johnny needed to be able to stop him, but not in his current physical state. As a trickster, so then they needed to train in both body and mind. So the elf took Johnny back to Elf Village, where he would be able to train in physicality as well as non-physicality. The training was vigorous. It included things like Johnny swinging through vines in tree, doing push-ups with many people on his back, and running. A lot of running through the jungles of the elves. When all was said and done with Johnny's when training was done, Elf said, I have trained you all that I can, but it's still not enough to fight Potato King. Go to Snowy Mountains and speak to the dwarf. He will be good for train.